Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them, because you helped me to make them. Your loving, Daddy.
Today is a very special day on the island of Sodor. We get to meet Toby the Tram Engine. Next, Thomas gets in trouble with the police. But first, Sir Topham Hatt is on holiday. Toby is a tram engine. He has cow catchers and side plates, and does not look like a steam engine at all. He takes from the farms and villages to the main line and is cheerful to everyone he meets. He has a coach called Henrietta, who has seen better days. It's not fair, she grumbles, remembering when she used to be full and 9 cars would rattle behind her. Now there were only 3 or 4, for the farms and factories send their goods mostly by truck. Toby is always careful. The cars, buses, and trucks often have accidents. Toby hasn't had an accident for years, but the buses are crowded and Henrietta is empty. One morning, a lady and a stout gentleman stood on Toby's platform. He was, of course, Sir Topham Hatt, but Toby didn't know yet. "Come on, grandfather," cried the children. "Do look at this engine." "That's a tram engine, Stephen," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Is it electric?" asked Bridget. "Shh," hissed Toby. "Shh," said her brother. "You've offended him." "But trams are electric, aren't they?" "They mostly are nowadays, but this one is a steam tram." "May we go in it, grandfather? Please?" "Stop," said Sir Topham Hatt to the conductor. They all scrambled into Henrietta. "Hip, hip, hooray," chanted Henrietta, but Toby didn't sing. "Electric indeed, electric indeed," he snorted. He was proud of being a steam tram. "What is your name?" asked Sir Topham Hatt. "Toby, sir." "Thank you, Toby, for a very nice ride." "Thank you, sir," said Toby. He felt better now. This gentleman, he thought, is a gentleman who knows how to speak to engines. The children came every day for 2 weeks. Sometimes they rode with the conductor, sometimes in the empty cars. On the last day, the driver invited them into the cab. All were sorry when they had to go away. And Sir Topham Hatt's family thanked everyone. "Come again soon," replied Toby. We will," called the children, and they waved till Toby was out of sight. The months passed. Toby had few cars and fewer passengers.
Our last day, Toby, said his driver one morning. The manager says we must close tomorrow. That day, everyone came just to have the chance for a last ride. The passengers joked and sang, but Toby and his driver wished they wouldn't. Goodbye, Toby, said the passengers afterwards. We're sorry your line was closing down. So am I, sighed Toby. Nobody wants me. Toby thought and went unhappily to sleep. Next morning, the sheds were flung open, and old Toby woke with a start to his driver waving a piece of paper at him. "Wake up, Toby," he shouted excitedly. "The mail has just arrived, and there's a letter for us from the stout gentleman. Maybe it's good news." Here are some dots. If we join the dots, we will see one of our newest friends. Can you guess which engine it is? Let's join the dots and find out. Off we go. There's the front of the engine. It's very straight, isn't it? And you can't see the wheels. They're hidden. And the back. And there's the top. They're quite straight too. Can you guess which engine this is yet? It has a very small funnel. This is a very square engine. There's only one engine that shape. Yes, it's Toby. Hello, Toby. There's a line to a quarry at the end of Thomas's branch line. It goes for some time along the road. Thomas was very careful to whistle here, in case anyone was coming. Early one morning, a large policeman was sitting close to the line. Thomas liked policemen. He had been great friends with the officer who had just retired. "Beep, beep," he whistled. "Good morning." Thomas expected that the new officer would be as friendly as the old one, but he was sorry to see that he did not look friendly at all. He was red in the face and very cross. "Disgraceful," he spluttered. "I didn't sleep a wink last night. It was so quiet, and now engines come whistling suddenly behind me." "I'm sorry, sir," said Thomas. "I was only saying good morning." The policeman pointed to Thomas. "Where are your cow catchers?" he asked. "But I don't catch cows, sir." "Don't be funny," snapped the policeman. He looked at Thomas's wheels. "No side plates either." And he wrote in his notebook, "Engines going on public roads must have their wheels covered, and a cow catcher in front to protect people and animals from being dragged under the wheels if they stray onto the line. You haven't, so you are dangerous." "Rubbish," said Thomas's driver. "We've been along here hundreds of times and never had an accident." "That makes it worse," the policeman answered. He wrote in his notebook, "Regular lawbreaker." Thomas puffed sadly away. Meanwhile, Sir Topham Hatt was having breakfast. He was eating toast and marmalade when the butler came in. "Excuse me, sir. You're wanted on the telephone." "Bother that telephone," said Sir Topham Hatt. Okay. "I'm sorry, my dear," he said to his wife. "Thomas is in trouble with the police, and I must go at once." At the station, Thomas's driver had told Sir Topham Hatt what had happened. "Dangerous to the public indeed. We'll see about that." Sir Topham Hatt spoke to the policeman, but however much he argued with him, it was no good. The policeman just said, "The law is the law, and we can't change it." Sir Topham Hatt felt exhausted. "I'm sorry, driver," he said. "It's no use arguing with the policeman. We will have to make those cowcatcher things for Thomas, I suppose."
But everyone will laugh, sir, said Thomas. They'll say I look like a tram. Sir Topham Hatt stared. Then he laughed. Well done, Thomas. Why didn't I think of it before? We need a tram engine. When I was on my holiday, I met a nice little engine called Toby. He takes freight cars from the farms, but the trucks have taken over most of his work, and he needs a change. He has cow catchers and side plates. I'll write to his superintendent at once. A few days later, Toby arrived. That's a good engine, said Sir Topham Hatt. I see you've brought your coach Henrietta. You don't mind, sir, do you? Asked Toby. The station master wanted to turn her into a henhouse, and that would never do at all. No, indeed, said Sir Topham Hatt. We cannot allow that. Toby made the silly cars behave, even better than Thomas did. One day, Toby saw the policeman and decided to give him a little ring of his bell.
Ah! Boy, you!
At first, Thomas was jealous, but he was so pleased when Toby rang his bell and frightened the policeman. They've been firm friends ever since. North of the island there lives a dear old train. A little tram engine, Toby is his name. He's quaint and old-fashioned, but careful and wise. His coach is Henrietta, and she's seen better days. His mind keeps returning to the good old days, when they were busy working every day. But nobody rides with them nowadays. They can't understand why things have changed. Their line is closing down today forever. Toby, oh Toby, what will become of you? The world's much nicer whenever we see you. Toby, dear Toby, there's still lots that you can do. Oldies but goldies, we still care about you. All of the children came to say goodbye. They clapped and cheered as Toby rang his bell bye-bye. Everyone was sad to see them go. Whatever will they do, and where will they go? Suddenly news came to brighten up their day. How Toby and Henrietta were needed right away. The fat controller had written to say, could they please come and help right away? Now they're part of his family forever. Toby, oh Toby, show them what you can do. The world's much nicer whenever we see you. Toby, dear Toby, there's so much to learn from you. Oldies but goldies, we still care about you. Oldies but goldies, we still care for you.